When faith stood alone. Almost 1,000 years ago, in the vast deserts of the Middle East, there stood a small settlement called Nurabad. Waves of golden sand surrounded it. Palm trees stood scattered in the distance. Above it all stretched a quiet blue sky, heavy with silence. The people of Nurabad woke to the call of the Fajr Adhan, and in the darkness of night, they found peace in the soft recitation of the Quran. In this city, a young man was born, Yahya ibn Saleh. He was not a prince. He was not a famous commander. He was an ordinary Muslim, yet within his heart burned an unusual fire. From childhood, Yahya listened to his father's stories of the companions of the Prophet, of the Battle of Badr, of the sacrifice of Uhud, and above all, one lesson remained etched in his soul. When you stand on the path of truth, Allah is never absent. His father would tell him gently, "My son, strength does not lie in the sword. The greatest strength is faith." Time passed. Yahya grew into a young man, and with his growth, a shadow fell upon Nurabad. A tyrant ruler from the distant north sent his army. They stormed into the city, oppressing innocent people. Mosques were damaged, books were burned. They tried not only to conquer land, but to break faith itself. Fear spread through Nurabad. The people trembled. No one held a weapon. No one felt brave enough to resist. That night, beneath the broken minaret of a damaged mosque, Yahya sat alone and wept. He raised his hands and whispered to Allah, "O Lord, I am nothing, but if you choose to use me, I am ready to stand in your path." Before the call to Fajr, Yahya arose. He called out to the people of the city, "If we remain silent today, the next generation will never forgive us." There was fear in his voice, but faith shone clearly in his eyes. A few young men stepped forward. Some carried old swords, others held nothing but wooden staffs. They knew this was not a battle for victory. It was a battle to protect faith. As the sun rose, the enemy army entered the city once again. Dust filled the air. The sky felt heavy and dark. At that moment, Yahya stepped forward. He raised his voice and cried, "Allahu Akbar." The words echoed across the desert. The enemy froze in shock. They had believed no one would stand anymore. The clash began. They were few in number, but firm in faith. One by one, Yahya's companions fell as martyrs. The sand darkened with blood. And finally, Yahya stood alone. His body was wounded, but there was no fear in his eyes. An enemy commander raised his sword and shouted, "Why do you fight? You will lose." Yahya answered calmly, "Victory or defeat does not belong to me. It belongs to Allah. I am only standing in his path." In the next moment, Yahya attained martyrdom, but his blood was not shed in vain. Within days, the news spread. Help arrived from distant Muslim cities. The tyrant ruler was defeated. Nurabad found peace once again. Years passed. Beside the graves of the martyrs, a small stone plaque was placed. It read, "Here lie those who did not write history with numbers, but with faith." And 1,000 years later, even today, it feels as though the desert wind still carries the voice of a young man whispering through time. When you stand on the path of truth, Allah is enough.